Hey guys, LootWizard here with another Soulforge video, and we have a new legendary troop called Orrery. I believe it is pronounced that way. But yeah, we're gonna try to get this legendary in this Soulforge video, but we'll do that a little later. Let's go ahead over to the weapons and troops here in the Soulforge. So for weapons, I don't really think I'm gonna recommend anything in here this week, because nothing's really stands out to me as amazing. You got a doomed weapon in here, but I don't really like these types of scatter damage doomed weapons. They're not that great in my opinion. You know, these rosebow and these things here, firefly, these are not really that great weapons, so I don't recommend those. Moving through the summoning stones, starting at blue, nothing there. Let's go to green. And we have red. Nothing I can recommend there. For yellow, Satyr Musician is one I always tend to recommend when it does show up, because it's actually a pretty good troop. It will deal damage to the first two enemies and steal 2 magic from them, but the really important thing is silencing them. I still like silence, so Satyr Musician is a troop that I do use from time to time. So, could consider picking that one up. For purple, no, nothing there. And then finally for brown, nothing I'm going to recommend trying to get there either. So then moving on to legendaries and mythics. Now legendaries, we got Shegra, the silent one, Scion, and Viper, and none of these are really that great. I would say that out of all of them, Shegra is probably the better one, but even that I wouldn't consider crafting. Then we have, for mythics, we have Famine, Gargantor, and the Grey King, and King Bloodwood. So the best one out of all the mythics here is the Grey King. Second best is King Bloodwood. And yes, Famine, as bad as Famine is, it's still better, in my opinion, than Gargantor. However you pronounce that crazy orc that's never good for anything. So that's my opinion on the mythics there and what you should craft. Definitely pick up the Great King if you can. That is a really good mythic troop. So moving on here, we're going to check out our resources, and we're going to look at here the new troop. So for 400 glory, we can get 2 arcane swamp trait stones. I like these deals where they give you 2 arcane trait stones for 400 glory instead of the 1 trait stone for 300. So whenever these times come around, it's always a good idea to pick up some of these arcane trait stones. So I'm going to do that, and then taking a look at the ability of this new troop. We have kind of our support troop here. It gives life to an ally, and then it will remove all blue, red, and brown gems from the board. I don't really like removing. I like things that destroy, explode, things like that. If it removes gems, it won't actually generate mana, whereas destroying and exploding does generate mana for your troops. So, but it does remove all blue, red, and brown gems from the board. So that could generate some mana, in the sense that you're going to get probably a few connections with other colors and stuff that falls down, just because it's removing so many of those. Nothing interesting in the traits. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. Let me pick up my Spoils of War real quick, and we'll move on to the current event here. They got Halloween offers going on right now. So, I mean, if you want to spend money on the game, some of these deals might be okay. $10 for 500 gems. That's, I don't know, it's kind of okay, considering if you go to the shop, the gems are really expensive. Moving on to the guild event here for the week, we have Signs and Portents. Looks like Divinian Fields is like kind of the kingdom that it's going with here, maybe. So let's go to the shop here. I'm going to pick up my metal. And I think it's probably going to be spell damage this time around. It could be spell and skull, because that's happened a few times, but I can't really remember a whole lot of troops from Divinian Fields, if in fact that is the there we go, Medal of Omens. It's probably just spell damage. So let's go equip that real quick here. Yeah, okay, so it is skull and spell damage. That's I always like it when that happens because it really gives you some more teams that you can play with. But like I said, I don't really remember too many troops in Divinian Fields, and yes, it is. I was correct. It is Divinian Fields, where we do have troops, so they do have to be from that kingdom. But like I was saying, I don't remember too many that in here that create skulls. So that will be interesting. Stargazer is a good troop for it starts full mana. It does remove all blue gems. It gives attack to an ally, and that attack you can just, select the top troop, which might be your weapon. Herdmaster is good for mana generation. It will explode 26 yellow gems. It does cleanse all allies too. Astral Spirit is kind of nasty. It deals true damage to the first enemy boosted by gems removed, and you can remove gems of a chosen color. So that's going to be dangerous too. Another great mana generator here is Ragnagord. Ragnagord does explode any color that you choose on the board. It starts with 50% mana, so you can almost guarantee an entire board explosion every single time with him. And as far as mythics, the World Breaker is a decent mythic troop. It will explode pretty much the entire board, and then it deals a high damage to all enemies. So that's good there as well. The Wendigo is a underworld troop that you can try to acquire. It deals damage to all enemies boosted by Hunter's marked enemies, and it does Hunter mark and random enemy when matching red gems. So you will oftentimes get this boost ratio here of an extra 5 damage to all enemies, for the Hunter's mark whenever you're matching those red gems. So that is also a troop that could be used, but so far, like I'm saying, I'm seeing all troops for spell damage, not really for skull. One troop to mention here as well is Atlanta. This troop is not a mythic. I only ascended it to mythic because I had so many copies. So you should be able to get this troop earlier on in the game. It does deal damage to all enemies, so that's a pretty good troop for this event. So that's a good one there for damage. A couple of these others might be interesting to use in combination with other troops, but I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to probably do something like World Breaker and Ragnagord, because I want all the explosion goodness that has. And then I probably will go with, well, let's see, Wendigo I could go with, but then, the mana is being blocked there. So I think I'm going to put Atlanta in here because it uses purple. And then we're going to choose a weapon. Now, the weapon is also restricted to the kingdom. So these are all the kingdom weapons that we have available to us. And there is one doomed weapon here. We got Staff of Visions, which is a very interesting support weapon. But it's not, it doesn't do any damage, so that doesn't help. It's there. Firefly is a weapon for this, for Centaur allies. And not all Divinian Field troops are Centaurs. See, I only have one in here that is, so you do have to be careful with using Firefly with that. Rosebow, it will generate mana and all that good stuff, but Divinian Field allies, all these are Divinian Fields, so I might as well use this. But let's check out the upgrades here real quick. Might as well go ahead and upgrade that, and then we can put that at the top, and we'll do this sort of thing. Now, the only unfortunate thing here is Atlanta is being blocked by the purple. That's why I put World Breaker down at the bottom. As for class, probably doesn't really matter. But anything with rock solid would help. So I'm just going to choose the old Titan class for this. And for banner, we probably, let's see what mana this is generating. It's generating blue and yellow. I don't have any troops that use blue. So that's kind of weird to have it in there, I guess. But we don't have a great choice of weapons that does spell damage. So, we're kind of stuck with generating blue gems, I guess. Well, let's see. We could go red and purple or green. That's what I'm kind of thinking of. Red and let's try red and green. And red is for Ragnagard to get that and World Breaker powered up. And then the green is for my weapon and for World Breaker. And really, I might just put a lantern down at the bottom and just use the Potion of Explosion to cast it once. And we'll explode the gems that are the most on the board. So it's kind of a weird team, really. I don't know if I like it yet. But if you have the World Breaker, I would definitely have him in there. So yeah, that's pretty much the team that I put together. Let's see if there's a different weapon. 'Cause I'm not really digging that one. We don't have much of a choice, really. Not much of a choice. I could do the Doomed one, but that's not a weapon that most people have. Otherwise, you're stuck with one of these rare little weapons that deal some damage. So, I don't know. Not a lot of great options, really, for this event. I mean, at least we have a few good troops that do some damage. You got the Wendigo you can get from the Underworld. If you have Ragnagord, use them. If you have the World Breaker, I would say use it. Other than that, you got Atlanta, which is going to be doing damage to all enemies, and you got the 160% spell damage. So that would be something that you could use. So that's pretty much my recommendations for this event here. It looks like we only have one event going on this whole week, and I like that better than having like 3 events. That's what we had last week. It was kind of a little crazy. So yeah, there's not really much else going on in the game besides we got the campaign, but I'm completely ignoring that because I don't have the time and the mythic that they have available for this event if you finish it. If you look at this really quick, if you go here, Pharaoh Nefertani, it doesn't look that good to me. Deal 31 damage to an enemy boosted by death marked enemies. Curse and disease all enemies. It doesn't look that great for a mythic troop, so I am skipping the campaign completely. So there you have it, guys. That is my Soulforge video for this week. Not much really going on. Oh yeah, how could I forget? We have a new legendary troop. How could I forget that? And it will be in your event keys because your event keys are for a specific kingdom, whatever kingdom that is the event kingdom going on, and during that week, that's what your event keys are for. So I'm going to open 50 at a time, and hopefully we'll get it first try. We didn't, but I have a lot of hope and faith that we will soon. There it is. So hard getting mythics with that, but legendaries are a lot easier. So this troop can actually be used for a team in the event. This is great. And conjure a star storm. I'm not sure what that is, a star storm. It's probably the colors that it has. So blue and yellow are probably that's the storm that it's going to have. So that's cool. Let's go back here and try to make a team with this guy. edit this. We'll find him. Where is he? Here he is. Let's upgrade him. Unlock the traits so we can get that Star Storm at the start of every turn. Let's do here. Upgrade this. And let's go back and let's use them. So blue and yellow. So Ragnagord is going to be kind of a good mana generator. You know that blue we were generating with the rose bow? We can use that now because of this guy. And this actually does generate some mana because it destroys a row and a column. And then it deals all damage to all enemies, boosted by purple and yellow gems. So I think I'm going to do the lineup kind of like this. We're going to have this weapon here at the top, and then Orrery, and then Worldbreaker and Ragnagord. Now let's change the banner so we can do a blue and yellow, because I think that is what the Star Storm is all about. Well, let's go in and try it out. Okay, so the Star Storm is not yellow and blue. It's actually yellow and purple. It's kind of odd since the legendary troop has yellow and blue. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You know, you would think that they would make the card that's doing the storm to have the same colors. I mean, that's the way it is with Lariza, right? The Madness Storm that it creates is... it's the same colors, I'm pretty sure it is, of the card. So, but anyway, this troop is going to be useful in this event just because it is doing damage to all enemies, and it is going to create that storm, and you can use that storm to your advantage. Especially with Lightning Strike, if you have a class leveled up high enough where you can have Lightning Strike. Whenever you have a storm and you have explosions, that really helps to generate more mana. So, yeah, that I can't believe I almost missed that troop. So, there you go, guys. That is my legendary, or my Soulforge video, including the new legendary troop. And hope you enjoyed it. And I love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.